Welcome back, everybody. How we doing?
Pretty good.
How'd you do in fantasy this week, Andrew?
It was actually a pretty good week for me this week. I know last week I was upset, but this week was good.
What'd you do?
What did I do? I gave my players another chance, is what I did.
You know, that's sometimes the best thing that you can do, though.
Yeah, and it worked out very, very well. The players that I was kind of anxious about, Odell Beckham Jr. is one of them. Devontae Freeman was another. David Montgomery was on a bye week, so he doesn't count. But it was mostly, it was Odell and Devontae Freeman who came to play yesterday.
Yeah.
At least more so than they had the last couple of games.
Absolutely.
And James Conner as well. James Conner I was a little concerned about, but James Conner posted upwards of 20 points. Devontae Freeman did the same, and Odell actually posted in double digits too. I figure for position players, anything above 10 is a good day.
James Conner was kind of a wild card. Really, everyone on the Steelers was kind of a wild card last night because we don't know this new quarterback who's coming in, the backup to the backup, Mason Rudolph. I was very, very wary of playing those players, and therefore I did not this week.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play any of my Steelers. I didn't play... I didn't play any Chargers either. But it was one of those games that really just could have gone either way, and obviously it ended up leaning very, very much in the Steelers' favor. But I think I really like that we're giving players another chance and not just kind of freaking out. I kind of freaked out after last week's Will Fuller V incident.
Yes.
I played him all over the board, he wasn't my worst performer on my team this week. That would be Robert Woods of the Rams in a very strange also game. But he did okay. He just didn't blow up exactly like he did the week before. And last year, much similarly, he had a couple of really good weeks, a couple of mediocre weeks, and a couple of weeks where he didn't do anything. He had a lot of opportunity, though. I watched that entire game. It was so much more intriguing to me yesterday than the Eagles game. And lots of really crazy long passes to Will Fuller that he just couldn't pick up. He just kept dropping that ball.
He's not going to get 36 points every week. It's just not going to happen.
I know. I was pretty disappointed. But as far as the rest of it went, yeah, everything was okay. Now I'm looking at kind of the players that are on my bench and reassessing their value to my team, particularly because bye weeks really hurt my options this week.
Right, same here. I mean, they didn't, but they're about to.
Yeah. It's happening because they're starting to get into full swing. And I actually already have started to play this mysterious waiver wire. I picked up Chase Edmonds of the Arizona Cardinals, running back.
Who was that?
Actually, he went to Fordham.
Why is that important?
Because I went to Fordham.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
okay,
there
great.
we go. We love Chase Edmonds. We share an alma mater. He had a really big week, not this past week, but the week before, and did okay this week. I probably should have played him instead of, I probably should have played him as my flex instead of Robert Woods. That would have been the smart move. But there are a bunch of players out there now, little known names, like you don't know Chase Edmonds, but who are making catches these days and doing a really good job. And so we wanted to talk about some of those guys.
Yeah,
on the waiver
what are
wire.
some of your tips for playing the waiver wire? What do you look at?
Well, I look at their past game stats, and I look at how the depth chart has changed for each of their teams in the last several weeks. If it looks like one of these guys is just playing because one of the other guys sucks, then maybe not your guy. But if someone's injured and, Chase Edmonds is coming in and he's going to be in for a while, it looks like, he's probably a good guy to pick up. What about you?
For me, it's more matchup based than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the streamline process a lot. I do it with my defenses. We've had 6 weeks of the NFL so far. I've had 6 different defenses.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much just pick the best one that exists on the free agent wire in any given week.
Sure.
Next week, the Packers look pretty good because they're playing Oakland.
Yeah.
And although the Packers defense in the last week or so hasn't been very good, I think they'll get back to their winning ways against Oakland. Yeah, no, it's mostly matchup based for me. If I have a particular need that my bench players don't satisfy, then I'll go out and get a free agent.
Yeah.
As well.
Because why not give it a try? If something's not working, then you fix it.
Yeah.
You know? Who are some of your guys?
Well, Hunter Henry's available in my league for some reason. Because after the injury happened, the manager who had Hunter Henry dropped into the waivers, and I hopped on that. I'm waiting for my claim to go through, but hopefully the people that are in front of me don't scoop him up. You also have Auden Tate on this list.
I do.
And he plays for the Cincinnati Bungles.
I do. Yes.
I'm staying away from anybody who plays for Cincinnati. Why Auden Tate?
Okay, so typically, I actually am the picture of someone who has the mindset, if the team sucks, then why would I pick up anyone from that team?
This is why I stayed away from Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's not a good excuse.
In
that case, that is not a good excuse.
In comparison to players like Christian McCaffrey,
okay, I mean...
it's a great excuse.
No, I think if Barkley's available, you take Barkley. Like, that's what you do. Because you know at the beginning of the season, particularly, that he's going to get a hell of a lot of balls. A lot of balls. Yeah. And he'll be back this week. The Giants playing the Cardinals is going to be a great game because they actually have a full team. But Auden Tate, he is approximately 19% owned. And this past week, he piled up a career-high 91 yards on 12 targets against the Ravens. He's really a one of the shining stars of Cincinnati. There are not very many.
There are two of them.
Yeah, exactly. But
the other one's Tyler Boyd, and he didn't do anything on Sunday.
But I mean, Auden Tate did. So why not consider him?
Maybe so.
If something's not working, pick him up, stick him on your bench for a week, see what you see, do what you do, and then if you need players to sub in for your really good guys on a bye week, he might be your guy.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally went down to my bench and took up some players into the starting lineup this past week. I started James White. I started DJ Moore, which is partially one of the reasons why I watched the game in London. But I want to tell people out there who are playing the waivers to be aware of the one big game curse. Back when I was playing fantasy football in college, the Miami Dolphins had this player, his name was Brian Hartline, who had one game where he went off for like 150 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and I was like, I needed something. I needed some kind of spark, and I was like, this guy. I grab him, and then he didn't do anything the rest of the season. He was shortly removed from my lineup thereafter. Just because a player has one big game doesn't mean that he's going to do that every single week.
Right.
You know, A.J. Brown and John Ross, for example, are two of those people. John Ross is a little different because he got hurt, but A.J. Brown had that one good game a couple of weeks ago, and we haven't really heard from him since. Mm-hmm. So I'm just, to anybody out there who sees a player who put up 22 points last week, weigh your options before you jump in and take them.
Yeah, I obviously, and you need to look at their game history too, their history within the league. It's
their point average per to this point in the season.
Yep.
That's another good thing to look at.
But everything can change. You know, people get hurt. People start, pulling the players that aren't doing anything. And a lot of these guys who are on the waivers right now, we're probably going to see a lot more of as the season progresses.
Anything can happen in fantasy football.
Anything can happen, kids.
It's going to be a really interesting thing that's happening in Cincinnati soon. I mean, with A.J. Green potentially coming back.
Absolutely.
You know, if those players heal up, that's going to be a very crowded wide receiver group.
I know. I'm really excited for as we get closer to the kids who are on reserves coming back. It's going to make things really interesting.
Yep, N'Keal Harry for the Patriots reported to practice.
Oh, he's been sitting in my IR slot for so long that it feels like he'll never come back. But he's coming back week 9.
Week 9, supposedly. He's able to return week 9, but yeah. We'll see.
That's another thing to look at with the waivers. If a player is injured or on IR, they could feasibly be really good. Might as well, if you've got an empty IR slot, pick them up. Why not?
Or don't knock them if they're suspended, either.
Oh God, I don't even want to get into this.
I'm just saying, like, just because they're not playing right now doesn't mean that they won't be playing later, and just because they're not playing right now doesn't mean they're going to be really good later.
Exactly. And it often takes a couple weeks for them to get back into the swing if they've been out for a while. Like Golden Tate. Golden Tate did some stuff in his first game back, but really only got a couple of balls. But the next week, played a little bit more.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And these players who might be out, once they get back into the swing of things, they could be very useful for you come playoff stretch time.
Absolutely. Very fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, play the waivers. Don't get too excited about it, but keep
No, get excited about
get
the waivers.
excited about it, but just keep an eye on.
There are probably some hidden gems out there that you should pick up.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And it's beyond. I mean, if you're really not having a whole lot of success with trades within your league, this is a really good option.
Speaking of trades, someone in my league made a trade.
Yay!
It was me. I made the trade.
That's a first though.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yep.
Good job.
Thanks very much.
Proud of you.
Thanks very much.
Don't be afraid, kids. It's just fantasy football.
Yep, I think it's going to provide the spark that I need, which is great.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Miles Sanders, welcome to the team.
Hey, that's a good pickup too.
Sure enough,
That's excellent. What'd you give for him?
TJ Hawkinson, but Hunter Henry's on the horizon, so that's fun.
Yeah, we'll see. Hawkinson's got a lot to prove.
I've also got
this
Austin
coming week.
Hooper, who's like the top scoring tight end in fantasy this year. So
Yeah. All right.
when it comes down to it, I would rather have Hooper than Hawkinson.
Yeah, it's a safer bet. All right, kids, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about another email. We're going to learn some more things.
Yes, you have a history lesson for us.
I do. It's going to be very exciting.
Very exciting. Sit tight. We'll return.